Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Mid-South Wrestling Review right here on Pro Wrestling Inside and Out. And as always, our panel, Jack Lord and Rodney West. And Rodney, I think this was episode 273. I think I actually got it right this week.
Yeah, 273 for this one. Before we get into Walo, we just got finished doing for this show. We've already finished doing the last Superdome. It was on November the 22nd, 1984, drawing around 14,000 people. Saw some of the matches. This wasn't the entire card, but Hector and Chavo Guerrero beat Master G and Brickhouse Brown. Adrian Street and Miss Linda beat Bill Dundee in a handicap match. It was Jim Duggan and Butch Reed defeating Steve Williams and Ted DiBiase. The Mid-South Tag Team Championship on the line, Rock and Roll Express versus the Midnight Express in the scaffold match. And the main event was for the North American Heavyweight Championship, Ernie Ladd versus TA. TA wins that one by disqualification. And that was the Superdome card for, I believe that was Thanksgiving night, November 22nd, 1984. Now,
by the way, that was the one we did not want to make for some reason.
Well, the next one we didn't make either because that one was worse, as it was Jim Duggan and Ted DiBiase in the tuxedo match.
This is true. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So 273, episode 273.
Yes, we open up with Jim Ross and Joel Watts. Apparently, it is coming up Joel's 21st birthday. Apparently, Joel angling for fans to give him gifts. That's all I can figure. Cheap, very cheap. We go again. We review about the dream match. We come back with match number 1, Delvisi versus Tim Horner. Brent, what do you think about this?
Oh, I thought it was spectacular. The timing of this match was so good. When he hit that Russian leg sweep, which I guess him and Brad had to argue about that when Brad came in, but. Because it was soon after. I don't know that he could.
Well, actually, Brad was using the sleeper hold when he came.
No, he used the sleeper hold at the beginning. Okay.
Yeah, he used a sleeper hold, and it was the Russian foot sweep by the newly 21-year-old Joel Watts said that.
Oh, that was not the Russian leg sweep. Okay.
Russian foot sweep. Joel Watts.
All right, Jack, what did you think about it? I thought it was good.
Hey, I thought it was great. Tim Horner, a friend of our podcast here, but besides that, even if he didn't know who we were, we would put him over because Tim Horner is one of those elite guys that could work with anybody, and this just shows just how good Tim was.
Yeah,
and Dale did a good job too. I'll hand him that. Dale did a really good job in there.
So Dale DiBiase was working full time for the territory at the time, right?
I believe so. Sure was. Then we come up. We're going to recap what happened between Butch Reed and Buddy Landell, where Steve Dr. Death Williams came in the full uniform and did a number on Duggan on Reed last week. And then, of course, with Jim Duggan coming in and cleaning house with the 2x4. Match number 2 on the program was Steve Williams against Brickhouse Brown. Landell and Akbar appear at ringside with some paint, yellow paint. What did you think about this one, Jack?
I knew where they were going with that when I saw the paint coming in, and I thought that was hilarious, the fact that he couldn't get the lid off. He was biting it, he was hammering it, he was doing everything, because that's a good angle. I think even at that period of time, though, it would have been the wrong kind of heat, so they played it off the right way of him not being able to do it.
Right.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and the match was good as well. I thought Steve Williams, Bill Watts must have got onto him and said, "Man, when you hit the guy," because he was putting them in there. So I think they might have been some. Bill Watts might have got onto him about because last week.
He just needed to be consistent because he was either awful or he was pretty good, but there was never an in between. I would have settled for in between.
In the end, it was Brickhouse Brown going to the second rope, coming off with a cross body. Williams catches him, goes right into the Oklahoma Stampede, and it was all over. Then, of course, it was Landell and Akbar trying to come in and get him the paint job, but in comes Reed, and the others, Reed and Duggan's out, and they clean house. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah,
match number 3 had the, as Boyd Pierce called them, the wrestling hacksaws. Butch Reed and Jim Duggan against Jack Victory and Dale Burnett. Brent? What do you think about this one?
I enjoyed the match. I can't say I think they did better this week. I think they did a whole lot better with the punches, with the kicks, with everything they did. I thought was a whole lot better, and I love the double the double tackle
spear and
I thought that, and the people went. Did you watch the people? They went nuts when they did that. It was great.
Jack?
Yep, I agree. Totally agree. Nothing to add to that.
Well, the only thing that I disagreed with in the whole thing is Jim Ross calling them the Wrecking Crew.
Did he call them that?
Yes, he did.
I didn't even hear that.
The real Wrecking Crew. It's very insulting. Match number 4 was for the North American Heavyweight Championship as Ernie Ladd defended against Master G. Jack, what do you think about this one?
Well, it was a match. It got across what needed to be got across. I don't think it was spectacular on any level, but it was a good match.
Brent?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I'm going to tell you, Ernie Ladd with bad knees was still going out there working his tail off, though. Man, he was taking the bumps. He was taking backdrops. He was doing, and I'm thinking, man, with bad knees like that and getting back up, because we knew his knees were in bad shape at the time. So to be able to go out there and put that, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, do what he did, it's just amazing to see Ernie Ladd do those bumps and stuff with those bad knees.
Yeah, in the end, it was Master G trying to go for a shoulder block. He ended up going into the ropes. Then it was Ernie Ladd getting him with the big foot to the face and then dropping double leg drop on him. It was over for Master G. Ernie Ladd goes over in that one. Match number 5, Chavo and Hector Guerrero against Tony Falk and Shawn Michaels. And so what do you think about this one, Brent?
I liked it. And evidently, you remember we talked about a couple of weeks ago, maybe a couple of episodes ago, maybe the last episode, but they did the thing where they suplexed him or something, and he 1, 2, 3. I really and truly believe that was the finish to that match after seeing this one, because they did the double thing and the double whatever that thing would be called that they did, and they beat him 1, 2, 3. I think the guy just tried to kick out. I think he just kicked out.
Well, they had the double underhook is what they did into a double suplex, and it was Chavo getting the win in that one. And then match number 6, Adrian Street versus Bill Dundee. Brent, what do you think about that one?
Oh, I thought it was great. This is the thing, and I don't know, maybe did they not have different matches than everybody else on that card?
Sure did. Sure did. And for me, it was nonstop, very aggressive, not very many standing. They're not looking at the crowd. They're not trying to work the crowd. It's constant at each other. Yep. And Adrian was super aggressive in this one. And it really was different than anything that they had any other match had been doing.
I don't know if y'all noticed this, but I don't think any spray came out of that spray to hit Adrian in there.
It's a work.
She didn't want to waste her spray on him.
I did not see no spray hit him in the face,
I'm going to tell you, if you tuned in to watch an actual wrestling match, you got your money's worth right there.
Yeah.
That the whole show's been good, but that match right there, boy, I mean, that was different level to me. It was fantastic.
The thing that I think for me, and I'm sure that Joel and Jim Ross thinks that they're getting the guys over. I kept harping on the height, the size, and I just think that just diminished them so bad. Yeah. I understand that's their point of view, that's their slant, I guess, but it diminished them. It took away from what they were doing, and I thought that it wasn't very helpful, especially when you're trying to draw the match in places. I didn't find it anyway. It was in the end. It was Bill Dundee going on the outside of the ring. It's Miss Linda trying to hit him with the spray. Adrian reaches out to grab a hold of Bill Dundee. She goes to hit deal with the spray and misses and hits Adrian in the face. Bill comes in, rolls him up, and it's 1, 2, 3. Bill Dundee wins in that one.
Beautiful.
Then we got match number 7, tag team match. It's Sheik Hercules Hernandez and Ted DiBiase against Terry Taylor and Magnum TDA. What do you think about this one, Jack?
This was a main event match on any show, anywhere. The pacing of this match was superb. They would do something and they would go into a hole. Then they'd get up and do something else. They didn't just spot after spot after spot. I mean, everything they did meant something in this match. And if tag team guys, if you're out there and you're in the independent level, watch this match. There's more storytelling and action. And look at that crowd. They were on their feet throughout this whole thing. They loved what they saw. Fantastic match.
And the finish was tremendous.
Yep.
Yeah.
That him jumping over and DiBiase hitting him with that loaded glove, I thought was just, this show was tremendous.
Yep.
DiBiase and TA in the first and opening minutes of that match, they had them. And they were on. The crowd was really behind TA. I'm not sure, but did Taylor ever tag in except for right at the end? I couldn't tell that, but I don't think Taylor tagged in until I think TA worked basically the whole match from what I remember seeing. Anyway, it was all as he made the tag. TA makes the tag to Taylor. It's all 4 men in the ring. They push him out, and then as you said, it's DiBiase loading the glove. It's Hercules Hernandez shooting him in for a back body drop. Taylor leapfrogs. DiBiase catches him with the loaded glove. Then it's Hercules Hernandez with the Shinanamaki, and it's all over for TA and Taylor as DiBiase and Hernandez goes over in that match.
Hey, all I can tell you is I remembered that finish, and somewhere down the line when all this is over, that's a good finish to be using.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And I wouldn't be surprised if our father had something to do with that one.
That was a good finish.
Comes up, and of course, next week it's going to be for the Mid-South Television Championship, Adrian Street versus Bill Dundee, which, by the way, doesn't happen. It ends up being Buddy Landell against Bill Dundee. I guess Mr. Street is on his way out. Then, of course, it's Butch Reed against Ernie Ladd, Rock and Roll Express against Ted DiBiase and Hercules Hernandez, Brad Armstrong, and Terry Daniels will be on the next show. And that's it.
Well, that's episode 273, Mid-South Wrestling. Next week, 274. What date was this again that it aired?
This was on the November the 29th, 1984.
November 29th, 1984.
They were still bicycling tape still around by that time. They're about to stop doing that. They're about to get everybody caught in.
All right, folks, if you're watching us, give us that big thumbs up and subscribe to the page, and go a little step further, hit that notification bell and let you know when we have other videos about Mid-South Wrestling. Until then, thank you so much. Thank you, Rodney. Thank you, Jack. And we'll see you on the next episode of the Mid-South Wrestling Review.